You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Bill Sweeney, and today is a lazy day. It's a holiday aftermath. It's the day after. It's Monday morning. I got the day off from work, and yeah, I'm here with you. No, seriously, what's going on this week is, we did a Christmas episode. And out of that, I broke out a little thing with the Joker. That's a separate episode on your feed. It's like 4 minutes. If you haven't checked that out yet, check out "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" in Gotham, with as read by the Joker. Yeah, a little bit of a rewrite he did on that. The Joker, crazy thing. So we had a lot of fun with that, and we'd like you to check that out. But as for what's going to happen here for this episode. Normally we do after show every week when we record live. But this week we didn't go live, but we did after show anyway. And since it's the season of giving, I decided to take this short after show episode and throw it into the main feed. Normally it goes to the Patreon subscribers after it airs live on Mixlr Saturdays. 7 p.m. Eastern, because it used to get tossed out, so that's what we do with it now. We give it to the Patreon boys and girls. But it just felt like, hey, you know what? It's a nice episode. It's nothing crazy, but it's kind of fun and interesting. Dominic's around. He's hanging out with us during it, and we just kind of BS about some shows and whatnot. It's not a fully packaged and presented normally type thing, I guess is how I should not phrase it, but you get the idea. So sit back, relax, check it out, and listen to it. We'll be back next week with a regular episode. Maybe, kind of, I don't know. It's New Year's. I'm trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do, so obviously for you, it'll be a surprise. So for now, just check this out. Sit tight. Hang out with us. Bye-bye. Hey, we just did a Christmas episode. You want to do more? Not really. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, happy holidays. Don't wake Eddie. Oh, see, he was good until I said his name. Shit.
Bob's dead.
I'm here.
So this is the after show for this week. We did a Christmas special, which hopefully you heard on Saturday or you heard on Monday. But that's the regular episode for the week, and so we figured we'd just do a little after show anyway. Why not?
Yeah, well, and because I haven't been here in a while, consistently, anyways, obviously.
And we want to.
And I really haven't gotten to.
I just had a fart. Sorry.
I just want to know, because I have a feeling that this is usually the case. How wrong am I about how good DC TV shows are?
Yeah, I have actually been listening a lot, but they're terrible. That's basically all I could say about that.
And it's not your fault, Ed, so don't worry.
I mean, but like, you can still say like you're really like that into them?
Oh yeah.
Well, obviously you could be into them, but like
sure.
you genuinely enjoy them as much as you did at another point in the past.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And they're not trying. They're not going for high art. These are just pulpy, soapy comic book stories, and for what they are, I think they're the best out there.
Oh, I would probably agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for as far as like corny TV superheroes go.
Well, here's the thing:
because if you're going to compare it to just any superhero TV,
I feel like the problem.
I think the Netflix one's kind of. You know what I mean?
I think the thing is,
it's just obviously just a totally different feel.
There's no other spandex shows
Right.
on
Yeah.
TV for superheroes.
But-
Like Marvel's going this whole non-spandex route for the most
Yeah.
part for, you know, with the exception kind
Well,
of being of Daredevil,
like,
but
the thing I love, especially with the CW shows, is that they know what they are, they know what they want to be, and they own it.
yeah, oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
they showcase these characters, and they're not afraid to show them sometimes exactly how they are in the comics.
They're giving it the all. I mean, you can't deny that. I think that's an honest thing.
No,
I think the
I
problem,
I see that.
and I agree with you though, Dom, too. Both of you. I think the middle ground is the fact that they just don't. So much of it feels like it doesn't land anymore.
That's what I mean. I'm not like in a camp where I'm like I say they're terrible, but like it's obviously an exaggeration. Like
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
I still watch Arrow and Flash.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't enjoy them as I did at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
I think Arrow's gotten better this season. I think last season of Arrow was very bad.
It was, but
Agreed. I haven't even seen it.
yeah, I started watching I watched the first 3 episodes of the season, and I haven't gone back, but I will at one point maybe.
You felt like it was a little better though, or
I liked
Or
where it
you were
was
waiting-
going, but like
It had
there's
to-
a few things in it that happened that were just like so
a
fucking
little
to me
hokey.
silly and hokey and shit like that. So
I
But-
feel like it is a thing to a degree where it's hard to hold on to what works probably on these things. Like what
And-
works
and
in
plus-
season 1 and of these shows is when it's new and it's fresh
Yeah.
and it's different.
Yep.
And then after a while, it becomes a thing where like any show that kind of like runs too long for itself falls under the weight of its ownness.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? People can get tired or things can just get played out in a way where it's like, yeah, this was cool in season 1, season 2. Now we're at season 3 and 4. Like, how do we keep it fresh? Where now
Yeah.
it's just starting to become something completely ridiculous or other, you know. And the problem is that with superhero stuff, like you can only polish it up so much because you just keep adding to it. Like so in the beginning when it's like, oh, it's about
right.
Barry and it's like the 3 of them and we're just kind of setting them all
You're right,
up.
you're
We're
right.
not getting crazy into it. Now we're crazy into it, and it's like this whole world is kind of getting like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it can start to feel like that.
Well, yeah, it's just like I think it's a thing where we also have to realize that when the Flash started, there was only one other CWT superhero show.
Okay, fair. No, yeah.
Yeah.
So they could have, you know, I'm not saying that they're fucking spending too much time on one show or 2 shows or whatever,
Right.
but there was just, you know, the guy Berlanti had basically all of his attention and his mindset on the 2 shows. I don't think you can ignore that. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I agree with you. And now he's even more going to be more removed from it all.
Well, he's got the
doing
other.
things.
He's had that show on NBC, Blind Spot, for a couple of years now.
He's got movies now lining up for himself and stuff.
Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale is going to be underneath him, which is what. Does anybody want to talk about Riverdale for a second? And just like,
Yeah, what is
I
that?
haven't seen the trailer. I saw it online, but I didn't really
if
watch it.
If you know that this whole angle that they're going for though with
No,
it,
no.
like so,
I don't
it's-
really know anything about it.
The basic way, it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Archie. Like there's some kind of like horror, like
it's
mystic
horror,
elements.
but I don't know how mystic it's going to get really. But they've hinted at that too.
Yeah.
But basically, they're really going for this dark.
I mean,
edge.
it's not Afterlife with Archie,
no,
which would be
That'd
be
be
cool.
great. That would be great.
That would be great.
Afterlife with Archie is basically like a comic book where it's like pulls no punches, more or less. And
Yeah.
it's still Archie-ish, but it's zombies.
Yeah.
So it's
The-
like, you know,
the
who
zombie
dies,
apocalypse
you know.
starts in Riverdale.
Cool.
You know, so with
Yeah.
that's kind
And-
of like a decent.
And it's
angle.
drawn by Francesco Francavilla, who's one of the greatest.
Yeah,
he's
the
one
fact
of
that
the
they have him, it's
best
like
artists.
it's
out
almost a
there.
sin. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like when I see Fiona Staples do all the covers for that a lot of the Archie stuff too. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
wish you were doing something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, granted, like you're doing Saga. Like Fiona Staples does the word for Saga.
I just read volume 6 of Saga the other
Yeah,
night.
you know what's getting to the point now is like I'm starting to lose track. I have to like go back
Yeah.
and start rereading like book 1.
Which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing.
Well, no,
So-
I won't regret it. But anyway, back
Since
to
I-
Riverdale.
Okay.
So my issue with it is just that like it's like I knew that they were going to do this, but it's
Yeah.
like now that I see it, I'm like, oh man, I don't know what the fuck I'm making. So I'm going to watch it just for the fact
I'll watch it.
that it'll
Sorry.
go either way. Like it'll either be Trainwreck City
Yeah.
or I don't want it to be good. I'm afraid that it'll be good. I said that to
and it probably
day.
will be. Maybe not good, but it'll be tolerable probably because
yeah.
As much as I say like I don't really enjoy watching the CW DC shows anymore,
right.
They're still like I still kind of have a good time watching them. You know what I mean? Like they're still fun. They're just like not as enjoyable. You know,
it's not like I realize what time it is and it's like, oh, that's on, and then I don't go to turn it on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I've had that happen with shows. It's like, oh, it's on right now, or it's coming on in 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll catch it another time. Like I still, when I realize what time it is, I'm like, oh, let me put it on. Did you have something else? I thought you were going to shift topics right there a little bit, maybe. No,
I was just going to basically say that I haven't been here really, and I was, I haven't been in the discussions and shit. So there's like a lot of stuff.
There's like a lot. There's a lot of nerd stuff to digest.
Do you want to cover Rogue One? You want to?
Quickly. Quickly. I loved it. Saw it twice already.
Is it better the second time?
It's better the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But I think the big thing for me with that was that I really had no attachment to the movie, I guess you could say, where like I was just like really excited for it, had high expectations for it, like I did for episode 7.
Yeah.
Like I really, not that I was uninterested at the idea of Rogue One. It just wasn't like really pulling me in to the point where I was getting obsessed with trying to see it and waiting for the date, like the movie to come out.
Right.
But I guess it was just that I was fucking blown away, dude.
Yeah.
It was fucking phenomenal.
It's almost one of these things where, like, it's one of the few movies I haven't gone to go read all the debunking articles.
Yeah.
Like, here are the 5 things that are wrong, or here are the here's 8 reasons why the movie wasn't that great, or here's things you might have not realized. Like, I haven't gone to go read any of those articles. Usually I do that, especially with something like this. Like, I know I did it with episode 7, and it's not like I'm really trying to protect it in my memory or in my likeness of it. It's just like I'm not compelled to, because I feel like maybe it's because there's nothing glaringly jumping out at me that seems big that I want to hear somebody else go off on about it too.
Okay.
Like when I came out of episode 7, I was like, I gotta go on the web and see, because I know I saw 12 things that were stupid, and everybody else is going to see everything else that's stupid that I missed. And like I know that's the case with every movie. But like I don't do that with every movie where it's like, let me go see what other people are saying, like, and how they're breaking it down. I really didn't chase any of that really. Like I chased a couple that were like more like theory kind of things and stuff, like videos.
Yeah, well, I'm like that too. Where like you look at something like, this can't be as good as I think it is. So you want to get some perspective as to like what are some people knocking about this?
I walked out of X-Men 3. I think that's the one. Is that the one where I'm the Juggernaut bitch?
X-Men: The Last Stand. Yes.
So
same thing. The same thing happened to me.
I went to see it with Bobby. Actually, that was like before we started the podcast. It was like one of the last times me and him were like, "Hey, what are you doing? You want to go see a movie?" And I was like, "All right."
When was this?
This was like
2007. Yeah,
it was like 10 years ago.
So I was like, "You saw movies before the podcast?"
No. I just the way you said it, you and Bob, like I knew you guys didn't live together back then.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah. So
I didn't know if you were confused with like one of these new X-Men movies.
Fair enough.
Or if I was confused.
Yeah, well, that too. Like,
so anyway, you went to see
I
X-Men
went to see
last
that,
year.
and when I walked out of it, I was like, I can't tell if I liked it, and I can't tell like if that was any. I can't tell if it was any good.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't. I felt so kind of like I had a slice of bread. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so vanilla, so boring, so kind of like milk toasty, medium.
Yeah.
Like, I just. Like, nothing grabbed me in any big way, and nothing kind of like lurched out at me. Like, it was done slick enough, just enough that in the theater, that kind of wash or glaze that you get out of watching a movie in the theater, sometimes you kind of like you'll lean more into the movie and allow the movie to kind of get away with more bullshit. Sometimes, like, I feel like I give movies more scrutiny when I'm home for some reason. But so when I walked out of it, I just knew something was up. I was like, oh, besides the fact that Juggernaut was obviously fucking ugh. But 2 scoops of
Vinnie Jones. That's a shame. He could have done a lot more with that character.
I feel like a lot of it really comes down to like the design of his look too. Like it's just like looked ridiculous.
It was tough. The big arms and shit.
And like I know it's like, well, what else do you do? But not that. I don't know what your other options were for designing him, or other ideas maybe to like just not do the typical Colossus look, even maybe.
Yeah.
But that weird thing with his head, the penis head thing, I don't know, you know. He looked more like Ram Man from He-Man back in the days. I don't know if you're familiar with the look of that guy, but that's basically it. He just, you know, and then, so that's just like, ever since then, like, I've noticed that personal phenomenon of like going to movies and knowing that I get washed into it. Like I'll lean into it sometimes, maybe too much. And coming out of it, it's like, I need someone to break this down and tell me what the fuck happened here.
Well, I feel like
I need an investigation, damn it.
Unless a movie is like really egregious within the first 48 hours, I a lot of times I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And then you need that time to just wash over and think like, okay, there were some flaws here. This didn't really work. Yeah. You know.
And I think the thing too, like for Rogue One, like I mean, I can't speak to it because I haven't seen it the second time.
Yeah.
But I would think that, like, more things would pop out. Did you find that you were noticing, like, not that you have to list them off necessarily,
but it's
like,
just like,
did you find yourself kind of saying, like, oh, there's a thing.
One more thing. And I forgot what it was exactly, but I think it was, fuck, I can't think of it, but like I had that fucking notion in my head. I had like what I had said about the fucking bunker,
right
in my head, like, and it was just in my space the whole movie. Bro.
It was all reinforced.
Yeah.
So he was pointing out that, and I don't give a shit at this point.
Spoilers,
mild, because it's in the first 20 minutes. But that when she goes to hide in that underground bunker,
like what, like it's pretty big. There's room for the other two, the mom and dad. Like they couldn't just, instead of like fucking, what's his name? Ben Mendelsohn's character. I can't remember the guy's name.
I think that
Park's 3 miles away. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a triathlon to go get my fucking
to go get you guys
that I need to fucking bring back. Like,
so there's plenty of time for you to run.
They could have just went straight to the bunker.
Originally, it was supposed to be her and her mom in there, and then the mom stayed behind because she had to kill Ben Mendelsohn.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so
and supposedly from what I understand now too was that book Catalyst, the Star Wars book Catalyst, is actually the precursor to this and sets up a lot of the stuff that happened in this movie. So according to Meow God, listener of the show, that she actually has more to do. The mom does a lot in that book. And at the very least, she has more of a personal reason for going back there and wanting to shoot that guy. They don't get into it in the movie. They don't bother trying to delve into that. But supposedly there's a very...
You don't have to.
Whereas, well, exactly. But
you just need to know she's a fucking moron. That's all.
Either way, her revenge tactic or not, she probably should have just went with the kid, with the little kid, and kept an eye on her. Because not for nothing, like as much as it felt like this thing where like we just need her to die so that the kid can be left by itself because that's the kind of character we're building. So here's the thing that feels a little forced, as opposed to, oh no, there is more there. Like there's no inkling of there being more there. It's not even a line said to that guy.
No,
like, but I know what you did that day. Like that he doesn't know or whatever. Like, my husband doesn't know what I know. Yeah. So, you know what I mean?
It's just the way Mendelsohn regards her. Just basically like he says, "Oh, hey, how are you?"
Yeah, it's like, hey,
you kind of get that sense that he knows why she wants to kill him. And
I mean, I didn't feel that. I mean, I didn't feel that it was anything other than like he was here now to take the husband and probably kill me and my daughter. So I should shoot him. Even though the odds are against us because it's him and 2 stormtroopers, but whatever. It's just him and 2 stormtroopers, which is another thing. Like the Empire always moves in big moves.
Those weren't stormtroopers. Those were death troopers. There was
even more scarier. All right, even more reason to be fearful.
They were in black.
And is that why you only needed 2?
Yeah.
Okay, for this operation. Because they were they were extra bad.
You know the difference?
Yeah, sure.
I'm stealing a joke from Kevin Smith, but fuck it.
Fair enough.
Because death troopers are stormtroopers, except they can actually aim.
Fair enough. Okay. That's how they become so deadly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a literal thing.
Yeah.
We bring death. They just bring a storm. We send thousands of them in like a storm. They storm the building. It's like that kind of a thing. It's more like, right. The Empire is very literal with their definitions and their naming. We didn't realize. So those are the death dealers. But because I have something I thought too. I pointed out at the time. I was like, first of all, the guy parks like 300 yards away. And it takes his time getting there. And then, just now realizing that, and it's just him and the two guys. Like, granted, they were only going after the one dude to go get, the engineer. So I could see them being like, oh, no big deal, no big threat. But
anyways, I mean, all in all, I loved it. And I was very surprised by how much I did.
As we come to the end of the year, one of the better movies of the year for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We should have done that.
Any other we can do right now? Any other standouts that you can think of as we're talking here?
Well, actually, now that I'm
did
thinking
you see
about
Arrival?
it, I did not see Arrival. I saw Passengers.
Okay, we can cover that a little bit.
Okay.
Did you see it?
You guys want to have a talk about
I
Passengers?
have not.
Okay. What do you have to say about it?
No, I have not seen it.
But what do you have to say though? Like, you were
like you might still have because you've read it because you've been reading things.
I think it looks really good. I have heard some reviews that were not positive.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It looks really great.
Yeah, but the thing you realize is that trailer only shows you. It's really only 10 minutes of the movie. Like there's not much going on in that trailer.
Well, it's basic. It's a basic romance movie where it's fall in love. Like they meet beginning, somewhere in the middle, fall in love somewhere towards the end. Between the middle and the end,
fall out of love.
One of
them
fucking hates the other one.
Right. And then
by the end,
they come to some kind of understanding or full love.
Right.
So
that's basically how this is modeled.
Sure.
But I don't know if you're going to see it or not, so I'll hold back on the spoilers.
Yeah.
But
I just heard Chris Pratt does something that's like unforgivable.
Does he?
Like just in movies, or like as a dude to a woman,
or something happens to Jennifer Lawrence that's supposed to be maybe that's like a violation. That's
yeah.
It's
basically the entire movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's. I wish you had seen it so you would understand what I'm trying to say, but it's.
I could put
borderline creepy.
Yeah, I could put a time code on this.
Warning, spoilers ahead. You've been warned.
I'll go into spoilers and fuck it.
Okay.
So,
all right. So
Passengers,
on,
Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. If you're gonna see it, skip. Basically, what he does is he ends up in the beginning. You see the ship. The movie starts off. You see the ship in space, and a huge meteor hits, and you find out much later in the movie that that's what evidently woke up Chris Pratt. Something happened in the mechanics room where
some kind
it
of
triggered his fucking specific pod
did it wake
let
him
out.
Did it wake him for a reason, like he's an engineer, or was it just like a random
random fucking
he was
complete accident.
Okay,
so he wakes up, and I really the first half hour I loved because they play it pretty cool where it's he wakes up and he has to go through all the basic steps that someone that is waking up fucking 90 years in the future
is supposed to go
through. So it's you've arrived at the planet,
right,
it's this day in fucking 100 years in the future.
Right.
So basically, he wakes up
thinking
it's a 120-year trip, and he wakes up 30 years in. So there's still 90 years left on the trip. He basically finds this out through one of the mechanics of the ship, and he just fucking breaks down. Basically, he breaks down, then he fucking goes crazy and does fun shit on the ship, and then as he starts to come down from that, he's been talking to this fucking bartender the whole time, the robot bartender, and he gets this plan to fucking wake somebody else up onto on the ship. And at this point, he's 2 years in to being alone. So he starts going through all the different pods and reading, they have these little bios about the person, where they're from, what they do. And then when you click on it, you could see a video of the person who had an interview before they went on the ship. Okay. And he obviously the first one you see him do is Jennifer Lawrence's.
Sure.
And falls in love with her. And for maybe a year, maybe he is debating himself whether or not he should wake her up. and he eventually does. And then she finds out.
Later in the movie.
She finds out, like, well after they, like, know each other. Like, they're, like, sitting at that bar, like, with the robot bartender. And he's, like, about to propose to her for some reason. I don't know why.
Right.
There's no fucking
ordained...
there's no ordained ministers around.
No, yeah. Well, they're going to have the robot do it. Cause
yeah. And the robot goofs and, like, says, like, oh, he's been waiting for you for months.
I got you.
Something like that. Like, you know, he's been dying to meet you for months. Something like that.
Yeah, and it slips up, and then she finds out. So for the whole section of the movie where she's first awake, she's under the auspices that we just both woke up. We just both woke up, and it's an accident. It's a freak thing, and now what do we do? Yeah. But so then he finally confesses the lie, and so then so the whole all that relationship bullshit is all predicated on this lie, and she freaks out.
So then that's really where the movie lost me, because for like maybe 45 minutes of the movie, like, she won't look at him or talk to him at all. Right. And it's basically just one big montage of them, like, going on with their lives without each other. Right, okay, all right. You know what I mean? How do they steer clear of each other? Basically. Function as... for like 40 minutes. Yeah. And then still, try and work on the problem at hand of... Like, but do their own thing, not even speak to each other at all. She wouldn't look at him, and then they get into, like, one... like conversation, and she just starts yelling at him about how he murdered her and like shit like that. Well, yeah, that's one way to put it. He's right. She's right. She is absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You know? Yeah. Oh no, and he's a fucking weirdo too. Like, it's one thing about the movie that I didn't like. Also, like, he comes off at points so fucking creepy. Yeah. Like, it's crazy because he's fucking like stalking this girl for like a year, reading her bio, watching videos and shit on her, wakes her up. Which makes it even. So then, like, after that, everything that happens to them, like, you can't like fall in love with their love story, because it's like, you know that it's just like it's all bullshit. He's a basically. Weirdo. Yeah, and that it's just sour now. So by the end of the movie, they find out that there's like a fire in like one of the rooms where like their like main oxygen or whatever the fuck it is. Of course there is. So like the ship is just like continuing to break down, like each section of the ship. So they find out that like it was basically going to happen anyways, even if like he hadn't been sleeping. Right. So then it turns into this thing where like, oh, thank God that you woke me. Thank God you woke me up, or else we wouldn't have been able to do this. Right. You know. So is that enough? So it's like it's enough to redeem him, and then by the end of the movie, they're happy in love again. But like. So he dies, Chris Pratt. Okay. Like, he's out in space, and like he has to go out like into this other section of the ship to like fix a thing, fix the fire. Right. And when he comes back, his fucking his like elastic can't think of what it's called. Cable. The cable. Okay. It's tether. Tether. That was the word I was looking for. Sure. Gets snagged. Gets cut. And he's like out drifting in space, and like a rock like hits his mask, and like he basically dies. And they sped it up. They sped up his death. And she brings him back onto the ship somehow. Gets out there on her own tether. Right. Brings him back, and there's like this like automated doctor on the ship. Puts him in like a tanning bed. Basically, it's like an automated doctor. Yeah. Brings him back to life, and then 5 minutes go by, and he's like, "Listen. I'm gonna have to. Okay. So he's like, this is what we should do. That fucking auto doctor, whatever it is, could preserve life. So we'll put you in there, just you, like this, because there's only one of them. Because there's only one what? There's only one machine, so like only one of them could. Oh, only one of them can go back to sleep. Yeah, right. So she goes back to sleep. Yeah, but then you don't see them ever again in the movie. It's just like he says that. Yeah. They like agree, hug. Montage, and then it's 90 years in the future, and like you see like the crew and like passengers getting awoken and shit, and like there's like forestation on the fucking ship because he planted seeds for trees and plants and shit. And then that's it. Like, you don't see her 90 years in the future wake up out of the pod. Oh no. No, it's such a fucking letdown. You don't see him. You don't see him at all, like doing anything by himself, like while he's aging and shit. Right. So that was like
they don't even allude to the fact that he killed himself 10 minutes later,
or anything, or you don't see his dead body like slumped in a chair, like I just died of old age.
Nothing. That's what I mean. Nothing.
I wonder if they fucking chopped all that out or something. I wonder if they actually shot some of that maybe and then chopped it all out.
I wouldn't have had a big problem with it. Like,
I wonder if they fucking packaged
Well,
this
it's
whole
weird
thing late.
because this screenplay was on the blacklist for a long time. This is like one of the big toutest, like the best unproduced screenplays.
Yeah, the Blacklist is a list that comes out every year that's like touted as this.
Dude,
Yeah.
the
Amazing
premise
scripts.
for the movie is amazing. It's fucking cool. It's
I wonder if it's a thing that got in edit and in reshoots they change stuff around because it feels like it doesn't make like lines of logic were lost. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
it was going one way and it's like, well, let's shift this around over here now. So it's like, yeah, sometimes that shit doesn't line up right.
Yeah.
exactly.
But so what would you give it on a scale of 1
American
to 5
tacos?
American tacos?
I'd have to give it a 2.5.
2.5,
Which is not a recommendation.
which is not a recommendation.
Not a recommendation.
Not a recommendation.
Well, 2.5 if you're a moviegoer, but I'll give it a 3 if you're like a watch at home movie person.
Okay.
So
I can
because
see,
like I wouldn't say spend $15 to
Right.
$20 on going to
But
see it at the movie theater.
You could red
But-
box this.
Yeah.
But redboxing it, getting it on Verizon or your cable
Hey,
subscribers.
it's not a recommendation, but I'm not telling you to avoid it either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just
think-
don't go to the theater and waste your money to see it.
Yeah, we prefer it to come on the old home box office, as they call it, I think, these days.
The home box office.
Thursdays.
These days? Back in my day, we used to
Yeah,
call,
but,
we had one channel. Channel 1.
New York one.
Well, just one. Just channel 1.
So, supposed to be getting a Justice League trailer soon, right? Like today or tomorrow. Tonight.
Oh,
or
really?
tomorrow?
They announced that? Because originally it was
That
like,
shit would be trending right now, by the way,
Yeah.
if it was. Just saying. Trailers have been
Yeah.
coming out on Sunday lately. Have you noticed this? Like, some
Yeah.
big trailers have been coming out on Sunday?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
Yes, I watched a video earlier. Ben Affleck has that movie coming out this weekend.
Live by Night.
Live by Night.
I'm a mobster, see? Back in the old days.
Which-
running whiskey and shine or something.
The trailers for that movie are not good. And that's
I saw one trailer that was like, okay. It was better than the first trailer
Mm-hmm.
I saw. And I'm like, maybe I'm just misjudging this based on trailers. And I'm like, wait, no. The reason the first trailer wasn't good was because it had more talking in it.
Yeah.
And that's why it showed me more movie. And that's why it wasn't as good.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, that's the thing I
appealing.
want to say about Passengers. Passengers had their third trailer. You got to dig this out. That whole movie was like had these couple of cool trailers where it was like, oh, very dramatic and dynamic about the way the story is set up and stuff like that. Like, you know,
I only saw the one trailer first.
and then the third trailer is like just music. It's just the two of them, and it's like romancy, like rom-com-y kind of thing they're putting over it, where it doesn't even feel right. It just doesn't. Like it's too much energy and bounce for visually what you're seeing. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
It's just jarringly mismatched. Like, you know, in general, without even knowing like where the story really goes or anything.
Okay.
I meant to say that before. So if you want to just feel like, yeah, that was a bad idea, go look that up.
I want to look it up because I didn't see it.
But we were talking about
Live by Night.
Live by Night, which does not look that great.
I don't know.
But it's Ben
I mean,
Affleck.
you know,
He
it's
can
Ben
call his
Affleck.
shots now.
You got The Town. You got Gone Baby Gone. You got Argo. You know, his directing CV.
Yeah, I mean, the guy can call his own shots and stuff.
Yeah,
You know, and,
but it just it's weird that the fashion of that movie.
right.
Those big double-breasted jackets.
I'm like, is this shoulder pads in that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, it's weird, like, because since he started doing Batman, like, even if you see Gone Girl, like, towards the end of that movie, you see how enormous.
Put, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You know what I
God.
mean? It's like a Coldplay video now. I can't wait till you scum me over and then wake me up just so I can die. La 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 la. Like, you know, it just doesn't feel right.
You should have had like the big dramatic moment, like really man.
They should have it be like, oh, by the way, Yeah, kill that. Or just turn on the volume.
Yeah,
a
that's
little bit.
enough.
Pull away from the mic. If you want to just keep watching, that's fine. But yeah, so there's that.
Here's that.
But yeah, we might get a Batman vs Superman trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, Justice League, which Batman vs Superman 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's
as
coming.
I'm calling it.
Yeah, it's coming out in November, so yeah, now would be about the right time to have a trailer for it.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah,
to start soon.
I'm kind of surprised it wasn't in front of Rogue One, but
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff jammed in front of Rogue One, though. I
Yeah.
mean, as nerdy stuff goes.
Spider-Man being
Spider-Man, Logan,
yeah,
Valeria,
about
I think, was
Logan.
in front of that.
Valerian looks really good.
I hope it lives up to that, because it looks
Yeah.
really good. The Last Valerian, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets.
Yeah, they should just go the Valerian.
I can't buy. First off, I'm not a Cara Delevingne fan.
Well, see, that's
And I
where
can't buy
that's
that
where
kid.
you're over on me, because I don't even know who that is, really. You said that the other day at work. You're like, the one with Cara Delevingne. And I was like,
she was the Enchantress in
Enchantress
Suicide
from
Squad.
Suicide Squad.
yeah, how old is she?
Probably my age.
I should-
don't know.
I should-
Maybe a year
I
older.
should know her, probably. But, no, I don't. Just by name, I don't. What else? Is she in anything else?
Enchantress, Suicide
No,
Squad.
I think I caught that one.
That's like the only thing you know.
I know. Meet the Fockers.
Catching up with the Kardashians.
Isn't that like a non-scripted show?
Yeah, it's a fucking reality show about the
she's not-
Kardashians.
She's from that, though? She's in that?
She was in it. I think she might have been in it for a little while.
Was she
'cause might have
banging
been
somebody?
No, I think she was friends with like one of the young
okay.
Jenner girls.
Oh, okay.
But
But
my mom
yeah,
used to enjoy that show,
fair enough.
so
Guys,
I
you
would
see it?
I would have to sit and watch Kim, and painfully watch Kim.
What a train wreck. But we were talking about
A movie called Valeria.
Valerian
Mm-hmm.
Steel.
It looks
it looks good.
It
It's
looks
Luke
pretty
Benson,
whack
right?
to me because it is Luc Besson, but I don't know. I just can't buy either one of them, like the actors in that.
He's a little rough.
It's a
on the
lot
teeth
of
sometimes.
fucking like
Yeah.
Space Odyssey shit. Looks
a
like
lot of running around.
the one thing I really liked about it though. It reminds me of that comic that just came out a few months ago. Might have came out like right when I was kind of
Taking a break.
taking a break. It was like maybe 2 issues in at that point. You still read it. I saw you with it the other day at work. It's like that like bright colored
Oh,
Space Odyssey.
Empress,
No.
Mark Miller.
Not Empress, but it is similar to Empress actually. I didn't think
Yeah, it's space stuff. Oh, Joyride.
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 Exactly.
Yeah, Joyride.
I thought it was
Joyride's kinda
Joyride. I
cool.
was like, they fucking made a movie with this already? It's like 6 issues in.
Yeah, Joyride is a little bit of like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Farscape kind of a thing, where
Yeah.
it's like living ship, 5 people, just on the road kind of a thing. But Valerian is a series of books, right?
I think they're
comics.
Yeah, they're graphic.
Oh,
they're
French. Or
they're
something.
French graphic novels.
French. I like
Yeah.
how you did the hand movement. The
Fuck
French.
that.
French comics, comic books. Okay, pages,
Anyone-
banners.
anyone
you may
who
not
likes,
know, you may not recognize.
Anyone
okay?
who's into the NCal would be kind of probably
right,
you know, it's
Mobius,
kind of in
sure.
that vein.
Yeah, where it's just sweeping, kind of epic, and not written from. I think what's kind of going for it might be the fact that it's, the stuff that's not American.
Oh, yeah,
it just follows different kind of story beats.
Yeah, but
and ideas than we do here. Like
it's
everything
all-
here feels like, it's a
Yeah.
little bit like this, a little bit like that. Then I read
Yeah.
something that's from France, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy on?
Yeah, but it's all
Meanwhile, it's like, it's someone doing something different.
Magazine.
Yeah, exactly. Anything in a heavy metal magazine, it's like, this is people who do things differently.
It's all visually driven. It's all about the art.
Yeah.
And the narrative is there, but it's secondary, and it
And it
doesn't
may
really
not
have
even-
to make sense.
No, and it may not be as deep page to page
Yeah.
too. Like it's not looking to really, it's not trying to fill you in on
Yes.
all the details. So you're right. There's definitely a lot of that.
And I could, French cinema is all about the craft. That's
Right.
kind of if you're really into narrative stories, it's a lot of it is hard to keep up with, which is why every time I watched a French movie in film school, I think I fell asleep every single time somewhere halfway through.
Or maybe
even
you
if
just
it,
find the French accents very soothing.
even if it was like a 15-minute avant-garde film from the 20s.
That you were trying to watch.
Yeah.
I wanted to see this one.
I just remember like the seashell and the clergyman, and then all of a sudden you wake up and there's just this naked woman standing in front of him and this ghoul, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
It's a CCR
And
that
then
kills you, man.
Yeah.
And then back to bed.
That is not a movie to wake up in the middle of.
Maybe
It
it's a
doesn't
French
sound like you had a
conspiracy.
bad experience to
Yeah.
me, though. waking up in the middle of that.
No, well,
Sounds like you woke up at the best part.
Well, no. It's about this priest who's it's his psychological struggle to stay celibate.
Sure.
So he has all of these images of horrible things that would happen to him if he acted on those instincts.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of what was,
Yeah, that's not weird.
That's a new one, Dom. I don't know if you heard that one.
I haven't, but I like the.
That's Graham Malcolm. I think.
Anyone wants to talk French Impressionism? Leave me out.
All right.
I'll stick around for German
That's your
Expressionism.
impression on French Impressionism.
There we go.
My
Bob's
impression is not so good. Not so
That's
good.
what it's impressed on you.
There you go. There you go. Oh, French movie. Good time taking a nap. So what else? Dom, we're picking your brain. What else have you been watching? Have you been watching any shows at all?
Not really right now. Everything's on break, but
Go fuck it.
cool.
Yeah.
No, I picked. I think last time I was here, I told you guys I picked back up with House of Cards, so I'm almost done with that.
Oh, that's good. That should be coming back around soon, I think, right?
So, yeah. So who do you think he wins?
No,
Okay. How far into it are you?
I am 4th season, I think.
Okay.
2nd episode.
Has the convention happened yet?
The fact that
I
Ed's able
don't.
to remember
I
any of
don't
these
think
story
so.
points.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. So you got some treats.
Yeah.
It's all a little bit of a blur to me.
Yeah.
To be honest
You
with
finished it?
Yeah. Like I powered through that so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't because I catch myself watching shit like over like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Because like I just
Oh, I did that too.
if I'm like out of it, it's like really a show, Bob. I don't think you've ever seen it, right? It's like really a show where like you like nothing. You can't do anything else. You can't even fucking eat while watching.
Because it's politics and it's so ingrained in that shit, where like it might as well be Babel talk on like Star Trek. You know what I mean? And that's dilithium crystals. But like you're really gonna kind of pay attention to what it is they're talking about. But all they're kind of it's a textiles bill, Jim. You just gotta sign over for it, and I'm gonna give you everything you need, and you give me everything I need, including the hand job, and we'll all be good. Now I'm serious about the hand job though. And it's like what? Yeah, no. But they go into these fucking things where it's like, oh, I took a break for 2 weeks, and now I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I have to go back and rewatch the previous episode to kind of like
when I came back, I had stopped watching it for like 2 months, and I watched like the last 3 episodes that I had watched, that I had just finished over again, so that I can jump back in.
At some points in the season, it's too dense like that, which is good. It's cause that's what's great about the series is that when you're in it and the season starts up and you stick with it, like it's thick and which is good. It's good like that.
You just got to remember Doug.
I hate politics, but I like this.
You just got to remember Doug Stamper's the man.
That's all. That's
Doug
all I've
Stamper's
learned.
the man.
That's all I've learned.
That's true.
Never trust the right hand man.
Even when he's down.
Yeah,
and like he's like
gonna find a way.
Groveling around like a wounded dog. That motherfucker's not gonna stop.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And
he should run for president.
That's
Season 8
now where a guy like that ends up in this kind of a series, like
Well, has anyone here seen the British version?
No. But you told me enough about how it ends.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I don't really recall it, but I'm sure as soon as you.
Oh yeah. Well,
it.
What's funny is like if you can watch that, it's 3 seasons. They're each 3 episodes. It's like a Sherlock thing.
Oh, it's a BBC.
Yeah. And it's what's funny is like if you watch the ending for that, it's that ending would be a perfect end to the American version.
Right.
And what's funny is like I feel like that ending is going to drop, and people who know the British version is like, oh yeah, so this is going to happen the whole time, and then anyone who hasn't seen that is going to be like, oh my god.
Right. And then what's going to be funny is that when the American version goes, and then we're going for another season.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, what? Shit. But at least, with the Netflix shows, I feel like they know how to kind of get in and get out. Like, because not always are they, like, I don't know. Like, I watched Narcos, and I feel like that's a 2-season show. And if they're going to go do somebody else, start following somebody else, it's like, I don't know if it's going to have that same kind of feel because... it's Pablo Escobar, and so all that shit was about the crazy shit he was doing constantly. Was anybody been as crazy as he's been? Like, I don't know if it's as compelling.
El Chapo, maybe.
Although so far, I don't think any Netflix original series that's not like based on something or a reboot of something else that's gotten a first season has not been renewed for a second.
Yeah, I think they just canceled something though.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo.
I think that was on
like,
2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's got like 3 seasons. Which I don't know. I haven't heard anybody talk about that.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sure it was doing good. I'm sure it's got.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good.
There are things on Netflix, there are things on Amazon Prime and Hulu you have no idea about.
Oh yeah.
You know, even stuff on Crackle that's probably like half decent.
Well, yeah. I have a Crackle app. I thumb through it now and then. You know, I hear comedians
Yeah,
with
I think
cars.
there's a
and
couple
stuff
of things on Crackle that are supposed to be critically acclaimed.
Well, the comedians with cars with Jerry Seinfeld is over there. Super Mansion, which I was talking about previously. That's Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Robot Chicken kind of show, which is great.
There's a show called Startup that I watched the first couple of
Yeah.
episodes of that I didn't really get
Startup.
into, but I could.
What does Sea-Doo or Sedu? Have you seen this? SEDO? I think that's the name of it. No,
about
not Sea-Doo. That's the
You're
jet skis.
talking about CISO?
CISO. That's it.
CISO. That's like
Another kind of
yeah, it's a stream
content?
reserve, but it's all comedy centric.
Okay.
Like they
They do
have
original content there too.
Yeah, I think you can get all of SNL there.
Okay.
A lot of Comedy Central stuff you can find there.
I see it mentioned once in a while, but I've never like run into it.
You know, Jonah Ray from Nerdist. He does a Nerd Melt with.
That might be the
Kumail.
last person I heard mention it.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. He does a fake travel show on CISO called Hidden America.
I love it.
And it's like instead of like going and showing you the big thing, he shows you some weird fucking character in there.
Right.
You know, I haven't ventured over there yet, but like they're only like $4 a month.
So it's candies Red Hots.
Yes. They are.
I was avoiding them because I thought they were on these cookies that we got from the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
Red Hots for Christmas.
think I'm gonna
Wrap it up.
I think I'm gonna wrap my show.
It's all right. We're gonna wrap this up anyway.
Yeah, I think I should get going too.
It's getting late over here. So, as I
Pretty soon
suckle on these Red Hots,
Pretty soon it's gonna be Christmas Eve.
yeah, it's true. So, I got this damn thing in my mouth.
So what are you guys in for Santa for this year, Bill?
Well, let me ask this real quick. Did anybody besides me get any gifts already worth mentioning or talking about or being like, hey, here's a thing?
No.
My union handed out like free calendars,
Nice.
but not like wall calendars, like those like little planners that you used to use before you had a smartphone.
The kind of thing like even before you had a smartphone, you would never really use.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah, no, I really haven't got anything at all yet.
Yeah. But yeah, anybody?
You got nothing from your job, Bill?
I mean, I got the Christmas bonus that I go for the company, but usually we kind of get something. It slowly dwindled away where all the customers used to kind of throw up a little something, and less every year. And I don't even think that the one guys that were like the slowest to start dialing it back. I'm predicting that this year we'll probably get nothing at all from them. It was down to like a case of beer, which was nice, but neither me or Brian like Coronas, so those would sit in a corner all year.
There's still one sitting there.
There's still
from
one
like
sitting
2 years
right now,
ago.
covered in a layer of dust, like whatever. I keep meaning to just like leave it outside the job and just let somebody just pick up a whole case of skunky fucking beers, like really skunky beers, like ugh. But hey, if you're stealing, enjoy. You know, hope those rusty caps taste great. Ugh. That's when you know it's an old beer. You
From the
pop
dust.
open, there's rust on the inside.
Yeah. So nothing from anyone, right?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know Artie's was giving out. Ooh,
Well, those gift cards once in a while. Like the last couple of years, it dwindled down to that. It went from a little bit of cash down to gift cards.
none of that this year.
Nothing yet. Don't get me wrong. If it was going to come, it probably would have came yesterday while you were there. But nope. They were probably like, "Oh, you guys are going to be closed for 4 days? Screw you! I'm not giving you nothing."
Probably.
But yeah, so that's that.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking out the show after show. A little something because we feel like we got to put it in there, and otherwise we kind of would have just chilled. But we also were hanging out with Dom. It was good to have Dom hanging around.
Yeah, definitely.
So
It's great to be here, obviously.
So
Happy.
happy.
Happy
So,
about
happy.
yeah, so here we are again at the end of the episode. Hope that was worth it for you guys. Hope there was something in there. It was good to hang out with Dominic again. It was good to see him around and get to hear his voice on the air with us. As usual, it was satisfactory to hang out with Ed and Bob, I guess. Meh. No, I'm okay. Yeah, so just want to kind of put this in here to say to you that if, you enjoy something a little bit looser like that, that's kind of what we do on the after show on a normal basis. It's usually a little bit more structured. There's usually like a through line of some type. It's not as structured as the regular episodes. So if you missed those live, like we've said before, you can catch them on the Patreon. $1 a month gets you 4 episodes of the after show. And all the previous ones that we've posted up, obviously. And if you want to go up for a little bit more, $3 a month will get you bonus episodes in addition to that. And the bonus episodes are once a month, full hour, totally planned, something different. Sometimes we dig back into the archive a little bit, if there is something. A lot of times it's really just kind of new stuff and breaking stuff down or finding ways to entertain you, I guess. I guess. It's debatable, but that's the plan. So, hey, there's that. So, yeah, go check us out over on Patreon /Wicked Theory. Patreon. Good stuff. But other than that, catch us live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Mixlr, mixlr.com/wicked-theory. And thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope the holidays and the season and this time of year are finding you well. Take care.